Okay, I'm creating this single video to really help you understand a different perspective on what reality is. Now, many people, so the title of this video is Redefining Reality. Many people think that the reality is the outside world. Yeah. And in the manifestation space, in the spiritual space, we talk about, okay, using our imagination and being present in the moment, maybe closing your eyes to detach yourself from the senses, the world of senses, and then tune inward. And so many people use the term, but the reality is pointing the 3D physical world. We must change this perspective because as long as you're saying that the outside world is the reality, almost like that statement to me is okay, this is the outer world that I don't have control over that's affecting me, right? Almost like that tonality and that attitude towards reality gives me a feeling that you are not being responsible for the cause of the external reality. Yeah. So when we begin really understanding that, the magnet, right? The life that magnify, yeah, from the inside energetics. What is the seed of the experience that we have in the 3D physical world? The reality is our inside. And then when we have this shift, the focus attention to begin calling, I'm not saying that the outside world is not your reality, but is the effect of the reality inside of you. Yeah. When you begin calling that, it makes much more sense. The outside world of senses is the effect of your inside reality, right? So then what is reality and what do I actually mean when I say the reality is the inside? Now, how do you experience your inside? Most people create experience inside, letting the outside to cause us to feel something, right? And I'm not saying that you cannot feel good when you're under the sun. You cannot feel free when you are inside under the nature and then with the birds, all the things that allows us to feel grateful for. I'm not saying that you don't want to let that affect your inside experience. We do want to create that joyful experience. But then what we must practice is the discernment to let that experience, let that outside event be the cause of our experience, but to be the cause of what you want to manifest in the physical world, right? So, can you see and feel the distinction between, okay, you're welcome to go under the sun and absorb the sunlight to feel good? Can you see the difference between you can lie down on the glass and be with trees, be with animals to feel joyful, right? No problem. Yeah. Now, that is one way to experience life and the production and the creation of life because we want to make sure that we are being the cause of the life that we want to create. And the opposite of that is to be reactive, right? So we don't want to let that outside to impact our emotion negatively. Anything that you come across run into that negative perceived consequence, we want to be able to discern our attention to attend, give you attention inwards to begin staying in that mode of creation. So the reality that we want to focus on is our imagination. And imagination is something that we can initiate and choose to create, right? Most people are letting that imagination to appear in their mind as a reaction to life. Does that make sense? Something happens in their life, and then they start having different thoughts. They start having different worries and doubt by imagining something that's opposite from what they desire. So they are using imagination constantly. We are using imagination constantly, but we're using imagination as a reaction to life. But we want to use our imagination as a vessel to create the effect in the physical world. So the reality is what's real for us, right? We create the reality, what feels real for us using our imagination. And when you begin truly being convinced that the reality is the experience that you create through your choice of your imagination inside, now you start seeing the outer world as an effect of your reality inside that you chose to create, and then you will constantly and consistently be in a creative mode, not reactive and survival mode. And that is the key, right? I hope you can kind of watch this video multiple times to really grasp that juice of the content of this, because I want you to apply this practice, right, into a moment to moment to notice how much your imagination is driven by the reaction to life versus being able to suspend and neutralize what appears to be negative and constantly putting your attention to creating from the new idea, using your imagination that you can actually use freely because we are gifted with a free will, power to choose. Yeah. So redefining reality is your real seed of reality is what you can create internally using free will, power of imagination. And the outer world that many people call reality is an effect of the real reality inside of you. Let me know if you have any question, anything that you resonate with you, comment below, clarification. I'll be happy to answer, and I'll see you in the next video.